Let us look at the nodal analysis which is used for solving capacitor circuits. So we have a circuit here in which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 capacitors are there. We have connected a cell to this circuit and we want to find the charges appearing on all the 5 capacitors. If you want, you can calculate the equivalent capacitance of the circuit also. So this method can be used for finding the charges and also the equivalent capacitance of the system. So let us see how this can be solved. So you know that this battery has a terminal potential difference V, which means that this terminal has a voltage V, potential V, and this terminal is usually at 0 volt. So this is V and this is 0, because all points on a conducting wire are the same potential. Therefore, if this is 0, this is also, if this is V, this is also V, and if this is 0, that point is also at 0 potential. Now, if this is V, this has to be V, this is also V, these 2 points are 0. Now, we don't know the potentials of these 2 points, so we will call them as X and Y. Now, how to mark the charges on the capacitors? For that, we will use the Kirchhoff's rule. The Kirchhoff's rules can be applied in the case of the capacitor circuits also, not only for the circuits which contain resistors. You can apply the same Kirchhoff's rules for the capacitor circuits also. So before applying the Kirchhoff's rule, we will mark the charges on each capacitor, and for that we will follow a simple rule that if charges are entering into a capacitor plate, that is considered as a positive plate, and if the charges are leaving from a plate, that is considered as the negative plate. So the plates to which charges enter is positive and the plate from which charges leave is negative. And you also remember the net charge carried by a capacitor is always 0. Charge on the capacitor means charge on the positive plate. So if I consider the charge on C1 as Q1, this is plus and this is minus, and the charge on this capacitor is Q1, plus Q1 here and minus Q1 here. Similarly, this one has a charge Q2, and from here charges leave, so I assume that this is positive and this is negative. So this has to be positive and this has to be negative, because this is at 0 potential. So the potential X has to be greater than the potential here, which is always 0. So we have marked the charges on these plates. Now let us come here. This one is already having a charge, positive charge. This is Q3 and this has to be Q4. Then this one has to be Q5. Now let us mark the polarities. This is minus. So this is also, from this plate charge is leaving, from this plate also charges are leaving. So this has to be positive and this has to be negative. So we have marked the polarities of each plate and also the charges on the 5 capacitors Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 and Q5. I told you how the polarities of the plates can be determined. Remember only one thing, the plates to which charges enter are positive and the plates from which the charges leave are negative. Now let us consider an isolated system. An isolated system consists of plates which are not connected to any other part of the circuit. So the capacitor plates which are not connected to any other part of the circuit is constituting an isolated system. So if you follow this method, you can see that these 3 plates, they constitute an isolated system. Similarly, these 3 plates also constitute an isolated system. So those are your isolated systems for this circuit. These 3 plates, 1, 2, 3, they are not connected to any other source. So they form an isolated system. Same is the case with these 3 plates. So for this isolated system, we will apply the Kirchhoff's first rule, which is nothing but sigma Qi equal to 0. The algebraic sum of the charges should be equal to 0. So we will use this method and we will first apply to these 3 plates, which are minus Q1 plus Q2 plus Q5 equal to 0. That is our first equation. Apply this rule, Kirchhoff's first rule, to these 3 plates or this isolated system which consists of the plates of the capacitors C1, C2 and C5. Now let us apply the same to the other three capacitors C3, C4 and C5. So here we will write minus Q3 minus Q5 plus Q4 equal to 0. So that is our Kirchhoff's rule applied to the other three remaining three capacitors. So we have two equations now. Now what we are going to do is to find the charge deposited on each capacitor. We have a formula Q equal to CV, which is the basic equation for a capacitor, Q equal to CV. So we will use this formula and find the charges deposited on each capacitor plates. So applying that to the capacitor C1, we find that the potentials across the plates are V and X. So we will write the equation Q1 equal to C1 into V minus X. Similarly, for the capacitor C2, we will write Q2 equal to C2 into X minus 0. For third capacitor C3, we will write Q3 equal to C3 into V minus Y. Similarly, Q4 equal to this is the C4, so Q4 equal to C4 into Y minus 0, C4 into Y minus 0, and Q5 equal to C5 into X minus Y, X minus Y. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 charges. We have 5 equations here, 2 equations here. We can substitute Q1, Q2, Q5 in these Q3, Q4 in these equations by using these 5 and solve to get the individual charges, and using the same method we can find the equivalent capacitance of the system also. So this is a very important method which is known as the nodal analysis of the capacitor circuits. So let us now apply this to solve a circuit and find the charges on each capacitor. Okay, now let us apply this technique to solve a circuit. There are 3 capacitors of capacitances 2, 4 and 6 microfarad each. Then they are connected to 2 sources 10 volt and 20 volt. We are going to find the charges on each capacitor. So let us first mark the potentials of the capacitor plates. This is positive, this is negative, this is also positive, this one has to be negative, then this is positive and this one is negative. Now let us mark the potentials. This point is at 10 volt, this point is at 20 volt, and this one has to be at X because that is unknown, and this one is of course at 0 potential. Now let us identify the isolated system. These 3 plates constitute our isolated system because they are not connected to anywhere, and we will apply Kirchhoff's first rule there. So we can write the charges are Q1 on this capacitor, Q2 on this one, and Q3 on this one. So we will write minus Q1 minus Q2 plus Q3 equal to 0, or Q3 equal to Q1 plus Q2. That is our first equation. Now let us find the charge on each capacitor. So as we have done previously, Q1 will be equal to 2 into 10 minus X, and Q2 is 4 into 20 minus X, and Q3 equal to 6 into X minus 0. Now let us put those values here and solve. So we can write Q3 6x equal to Q1 is 20 minus 2x plus Q2 which is 80 minus 4x. So we have 12x equal to 100, or x equal to 100 by 12, which is 25 by 3 volt. That is the potential of this node X. So now we can proceed to find the values of Q1, Q2 and Q3. We will first find Q1, which is 20 minus 2x. X is 25 by 3, so 2 into 25 by 3. 20 minus 2x. Let us simplify this. So this will be 20 minus 50 by 3. This is equal to 10 by 3. So this charge is 10 by 3 microcoulomb. So the charge on the plate, on the plates of the capacitor of capacitance 2 microfarad is 10 by 3 microcoulomb. Now let us proceed to find the value of Q2. So Q2 is 4 into, which is 80 minus 4x. 4 into 25 by 3. So this is equal to 80 minus 100 by 3. So 80 minus 100 by 3, this is equal to 240 minus 100, which is equal to 140 by 3. So this is 140 by 3 microcoulomb. So we have obtained both Q1 and Q2. So let us add them to find Q3. So now let us find Q3 by adding Q1 and Q2. So let us add them. So we will get Q3 equal to Q1 plus Q2. So this is equal to 10 by 3 plus 140 by 3, which is equal to 150 by 3 microcoulomb, that is 50 microcoulomb. So that is the value of Q3. So that is how we solve this type of circuits and find the charges on the capacitor plates.